My cousin helped my boyfriend after his accident. Now she's pregnant with his baby. Hi, Reddit. This is my first time writing here because I simply don't know where else to turn. I'm 25F, living in Chicago, USA. I'm in complete despair, my heart is breaking, and I can't even sleep properly at night. I need advice from strangers because friends and family are like a ticking time bomb right now. I've been with my boyfriend, let's call him Alex, 27M, for 3 years. We met in college, he's an engineer, and I work in marketing for a firm downtown. Our relationship was perfect. We traveled, planned to buy a house, and even talked about children. He was always so caring, making me breakfast in bed, supporting me when I had problems at work. We lived in a small apartment in the Lincoln Park area, and it seemed like we were on the path to a happy future. We were planning a wedding for next year and had already started looking at rings. But everything was turned upside down 2 months ago. Alex was driving home from work late on the I-90 highway when a drunk driver in a truck hit him. The accident was horrible. Alex's car flipped several times, and he had to be extracted from the wreckage by rescue workers. I was in a panic when the hospital called. He survived, but his injuries were serious. Multiple leg fractures, both legs in casts. A severe concussion causing constant headaches and dizziness, and spinal problems damaged discs, which meant he couldn't move properly without pain. The doctor said he was lucky it wasn't worse, but his recovery would be long. He spent almost a month in the hospital, first in the ICU, then in a regular ward where he underwent physiotherapy, took a bunch of medications, and had constant checkups. I was there every day after work, sitting by his side, holding his hand, crying at home at night. Our savings were melting away before our eyes, hospital bills, medications, it all cost a crazy amount of money, and the insurance didn't cover everything. Finally, after a month, the doctors discharged him home, but with clear instructions. Constant supervision because he still couldn't walk on his own on crutches, but with pain, he needed help with hygiene, food, medications, antibiotics, painkillers, all on a schedule. Plus, a physiotherapist came once a week, but during the day, he was alone. I work in an office from 9 to 6, plus overtime, because we needed money for all this. I couldn't quit my job or we'd go bankrupt. I tried to be with him as much as possible. Getting up early, making breakfast, helping with everything in the evening, but during the day, he was alone and it was killing me. The doctors said that without supervision, there could be a relapse, or he just might not be able to cope with the pain. That's when the idea with my cousin came up. Let's call her Sarah, 24F. She's my aunt's daughter on my mom's side. We grew up together, played as kids, but in recent years we haven't been super close. She lived in the suburbs, worked in a cafe, but recently lost her job due to post-pandemic cuts. She was complaining about looking for a side job, and I thought, why not? She's family, I trust her, and it could help everyone. I called her, explained the situation. Sarah, Alex needs help during the day, just to be around, help with lunch, give him his medication, maybe talk to him so he's not bored. I'll pay you, say, $20 an hour from our savings. She agreed immediately, saying, oh, poor Alex, of course, cousin, I'll help. He's like part of the family now, I won't let you down. I was so grateful. I hugged her when she came the first time. I thought it was a life-saving solution. She came at 10 a.m. and left at 5 p.m. when I got back. Alex said she was great, helping out, they watched movies, played games on the phone. I relaxed, thinking everything was getting better. But now, I realize it was the biggest mistake of my life. It seemed like everything was going well, but now I think something is wrong. I'm in shock, and my emotions are off the charts. A mix of anger, sadness, and distrust. I feel like my whole world is crumbling around me. At first, everything was perfect. Sarah came on time at 10 a.m., brought coffee or fruits to cheer Alex up. She told me how they spent time, watching series on Netflix like The Office or some comedies so he wouldn't be bored. Alex laughed when I came home in the evening and said, Sarah is a savior, she cheers me up, otherwise I'd go crazy from the pain. I was happy because I saw him improving, he started moving more on crutches, complained less about headaches. I even invited Sarah to dinner with us once a week to thank her. We sat at the table, ate pizza I ordered, and talked about childhood, how Sarah and I played with dolls when we were little, or how our aunt made us pies for the holidays. It seemed like such a family idol, and I thought, how lucky I am to have such support. But after a couple of weeks, I started noticing little things that worried me. At first, it was nothing special, but they accumulated. For example, one evening I came home early from work, my boss let me go because I looked tired and saw Sarah sitting on the couch next to Alex, very close. Her hand was on his knee as if she was checking the cast, but it looked too intimate. I coughed and they both flinched as if I scared them. Sarah quickly stood up, saying, "Oh, cousin, you're early." I was just about to leave, it's already 5. Alex smiled. We were watching a movie, and Sarah was explaining how to massage legs properly so they don't go numb. I believed it because why not? She's a caregiver, and the doctors recommended light massage for circulation. Then there were the messages. I don't spy on Alex, but once his phone buzzed when he was in the shower, I helped him get there, and I glanced at the screen, a habit because sometimes it's work. A message from Sarah: "Can't wait for tomorrow to continue our secret project." I felt a stab in my heart, but thought, maybe they're planning a surprise for me. Like, Alex said he wanted something special for our upcoming anniversary. I didn't say anything, but in the evening I asked Alex, "What's this project with Sarah?" He laughed. "Oh, nothing, we're just playing some game on the phone, trying to beat a record. She annoys me because she wins all the time." It sounded plausible because Sarah loves games. She was always playing Candy Crush or something similar. But the little things continued. Once I found a condom wrapper in the trash. Alex and I hadn't had sex since the accident, he couldn't because of the pain, and the doctors advised waiting. I thought, maybe it's an old one from pre-accident times, but it was fresh and the brand wasn't our usual one. I asked Alex, "Where is this from?" He blushed. Probably Sarah brought it because she was dating someone and told me about it. Maybe it fell out of her bag." Sarah. She hadn't mentioned a boyfriend, but why not? I called her to ask, and she confirmed, "Yes, cousin, sorry, I was dating a guy from Tinder, and I guess it fell out. How awkward." They both had explanations, but something didn't add up. My suspicions intensified last week. I started coming home during my lunch break. I told my boss I needed to check on Alex, and he understood. Once I came in quietly, didn't ring the doorbell because I had a key. I heard laughter from the living room, not the usual kind, but a flirty one. I walked in and saw Sarah feeding Alex ice cream with a spoon, and they were looking at each other as if in a romantic movie. She said, "Oh, you're here. We were just joking around." Alex, yeah, Sarah was telling jokes to distract me from the pain. But her blouse was unbuttoned one button more than usual, and her hair was disheveled. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. In the evening, I asked Alex, "Are you sure nothing is going on?" He got offended. "How can you think that? She's your cousin, and I love you." We had our first argument since the accident, and I cried in the bathroom. Now I can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Sarah started coming in tighter clothes with makeup, as if for a date. Alex smiles more when he talks about her. I checked his phone. Yes, I know it's bad, but I'm desperate. Nothing suspicious, but many messages from Sarah with heart and kiss emojis like "good night, sweet dreams." He says it's friendly, but I don't believe it. I feel paranoid, but my intuition is screaming. What should I do? Fire Sarah. I'm afraid if I'm wrong, I'll ruin family relationships, but if not, my heart will break. Advice, please, I'm in hell. Update 1. Hi everyone again. Thank you for the support in the comments on the post. You inspired me to take action, even though it was scary. I didn't expect the situation to develop so quickly and so painfully. Right now, I'm sitting in a cafe near home because I can't be where it all happened. My hands are shaking as I write this, and tears are dripping onto the screen. I'm in a state of complete emotional exhaustion, anger, betrayal, pain, all mixed together. For newcomers, my boyfriend Alex needed care after an accident. I hired my cousin Sarah, and now I suspect something is going on between them. In the update, I talked about small suspicious things like messages, closeness, and a condom wrapper. You advised me to investigate more, and I did, but the truth turned out to be worse than I imagined. After I started suspecting, I decided not to rush into a confrontation but to gather evidence. You said intuition is rarely wrong, and you were right. I started recording everything, the time Sarah came and left, what they were doing. I installed an app on Alex's phone with his permission, supposedly for health tracking, but actually to see his location. He was always home, but Sarah sometimes stayed late. One day, I pretended to go to work but came back an hour later. I quietly opened the door and heard moans from the bedroom. My heart stopped. I burst in and saw them. Sarah half-dressed, sitting on top of Alex, they were kissing. His cast didn't seem to be a problem. They didn't notice me at first, and I stood there, frozen, for seconds that felt like an eternity. Then I screamed, "What the hell is this?" Sarah climbed off, grabbing her clothes. Cousin, it's not what you think. Alex, baby, wait, I can explain. I ran out to the kitchen, sobbing, and they got dressed and came after me. The situation was horrible. Alex was crying. It happened by accident. We were just talking, she was massaging my back because it hurt, and one thing led to another. It was only once. Sarah, I'm sorry, I didn't want to, but he's so lonely, and you're always at work. We didn't plan it. I yelled at them. You're my cousin, how could you? And you, Alex, after everything I've done for you? He said he loves me, that it was a mistake because of the pain and medication affecting his judgment. Sarah justified herself, saying it was due to stress because she's unemployed and felt needed. I kicked Sarah out, told her not to come back. She left, crying, and called my aunt. Now the whole family knows. My aunt called me. Honey, Sarah says it's a misunderstanding. Don't ruin the family, I said. She ruined mine. Alex and I talked all night. He confessed that it started a week after she began caring for him, first flirting, jokes, then touching, and finally sex. It happened 3 times, he says. I was weak, everything hurt, and she was there. But I love you, not her. I don't know if I should believe him. We slept in separate rooms, and the next day I went to a friend's place because I couldn't look at him. He calls, texts. Please, give me a chance, I'll go to therapy, I'll fix everything. Now I'm thinking. I fired Sarah, of course, but who will take care of Alex? I can't quit my job. The family is divided, my mom supports me, but my aunt defends Sarah. Friends say to kick Alex out, but he's on crutches, where would he go? I feel guilty because I hired her, but it's not my fault. My emotions are off the charts, I'm angry at them, at myself, at the whole world. I want to break up, but 3 years together. Advice? Forgive? How to get through this? I'm broken. Update 2. Hi, Reddit. Oh, guys, thank you for all the messages and advice in the previous update. You're keeping me afloat in this chaos. I read every comment, and they helped me collect my thoughts, even though the situation is getting worse. Right now, I'm in complete emotional burnout. Sadness, anger, confusion, it's all spinning in my head like a hurricane. I can't eat properly, sleep 3-4 hours a night, and every day I feel like a piece of my heart has been ripped out. For those who missed it, my boyfriend Alex needed care after a terrible accident, broken legs, concussion, spinal problems. I hired my cousin Sarah as a caregiver because I work full-time. At first, everything seemed okay, but I started noticing suspicious things, closeness, messages, a condom wrapper. In Update 1, I caught them in the act in the bedroom, and they confessed to the affair. Alex says it was 3 times, a mistake due to stress and pain, and Sarah justified it with stress and loneliness. I kicked Sarah out, but now the whole family is involved, and I don't know what to do with Alex. A few days have passed since that confrontation, and the chaos is only growing. I'm staying with a friend, a small apartment in downtown Chicago where she works as a freelancer and gave me her couch. I can't go back home because everything there reminds me of the betrayal, the couch where they watched movies, the bedroom where I caught them. Alex calls 10 times a day, texts, "Please, let's talk, I love you, it was a moment of weakness, I'll see a psychologist." He even sent a photo of himself on crutches with sad eyes, as if trying to evoke pity. But I don't answer. I blocked him for an hour, then unblocked him because I'm worried about his health. Who's taking care of him now? I hired a professional caregiver through an agency. It costs a ton of money, $30 an hour, but better than risking it again. She comes during the day, does everything on schedule, no flirting. Alex complains that she's cold, but that's his problem. The family is a separate disaster. My aunt Sarah's mom calls every day, crying on the phone. Honey, Sarah is young, she made a mistake, don't ruin the family over this. Alex isn't a saint, men are like that. I said, Aunt, she cheated on me with my boyfriend in my apartment. How can I forgive? She defends Sarah, saying she's depressed because of unemployment, and Alex cheered her up. My mom is on my side, she came from the suburbs, brought food, and sat with me all evening, hugging me. Sweetheart, you deserve better, don't hold on to him just because of the accident. But my aunt has turned other relatives against me, my uncle called and said, family is above everything, make up, because it will be awkward at Christmas. I block them all because I can't handle the pressure. Sarah herself texted, Cousin, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. It happened spontaneously, I regret it. I didn't reply, but I read it and cried. We were like sisters in childhood, playing together at our grandma's, sharing secrets. How could she? Work is bad, I took a week off because I can't concentrate. My boss understood, said, take your time, we'll manage. But money is melting away, Alex's hospital bills are still coming, plus the new caregiver. We had a joint account, and I checked. Alex spent $200 on food delivery, probably for himself. I transferred my money to a separate account because I don't trust him anymore. Friends are supportive. The friend I'm staying with says, kick him out, let him go to Sarah if she's so helpful. Another friend, a guy, advised, talk to a lawyer because if you were planning a wedding, there might be property issues. I hadn't thought about that. The apartment is in my name, but the furniture is shared and Alex's car is wrecked. The insurance hasn't paid out yet. Emotionally, I'm on the edge. Yesterday, I saw a therapist first session online because I don't want to go out. She said, you're experiencing betrayal. It's normal to feel anger and sadness. Don't make decisions in a hurry. But how not to hurry? Alex is pressuring me, saying he can't handle the recovery without me. I remember the good times. Our trip to Lake Michigan last summer where he proposed, not officially, but said he wanted to get married, how we cooked pasta together and laughed. Now it's all poisoned. I'm thinking about forgiving. Many in the comments say, no, cheating is the end, but others. If it was a one-time mistake due to trauma, maybe give him a chance with therapy. I'm hesitating. I'm planning to meet him tomorrow at a cafe, neutral territory, to talk. I'm afraid I'll break down or scream. What should I say? How to understand if he's sincere? Advice from Reddit is my lifeline. I feel so alone in this, as if the whole world is against me. Thank you for reading. Update 3. Hi everyone, Reddit. I'm writing this with trembling hands because the latest events are like a lightning strike that finished me off completely. Thank you for the support in Update 2. Your advice about therapy and not rushing decisions helped, but reality turned out to be even crueler. Right now, I'm in a state of shock, mixed with rage and despair, as if someone poured a bucket of ice water on me. The tears won't stop, and I can't believe this is my life. For newcomers, after Alex's, my boyfriend, accident with fractures, concussion, and spine issues, I hired my cousin Sarah to care for him. It turned out they were cheating on me. I caught them. They confessed to 3 times. I kicked Sarah out, moved in with a friend. The family is in scandal. In Update 2, I talked about the pressure from relatives, financial problems, and meeting with Alex. But now, it turns out Sarah is pregnant. Yes, from Alex. This is not a joke, it's a nightmare. It all started after our meeting at the cafe. I went there as planned, a small cafe in Lincoln Park where we often went together. Alex came by taxi, on crutches, looked pitiful, pale, with bags under his eyes. We sat at a table outside because the weather was warm for Chicago this time of year. He immediately started crying. I'm such an idiot, I'm sorry. It was because of the medication and pain, I wasn't in control of myself. Sarah was just there, but you're my one and only. I sat, listened, and my heart was breaking. Part of me wanted to hug him, remembering how he supported me during my depression 2 years ago. He promised, I'll go to therapy, tell you everything you want, just come back. I said, I need time, but maybe if you prove yourself. We talked for 2 hours about our plans, how the accident changed everything. He confessed that Sarah initiated the first time, but he didn't resist. I left with a feeling of hope, even if small. I thought, maybe this is a crisis we can overcome. But in the evening, my mom called. Honey, sit down before you fall. Your aunt told me Sarah is pregnant. I thought it was a joke or a mistake, but my mom confirmed. Sarah took a test yesterday, it's positive, and she told my aunt that Alex is the father. The term is about 4 or 5 weeks, which coincides with their affair. I dropped the phone, sobbed on the floor. My friend held me. How? They had sex in my apartment and now a baby? Alex didn't know, or did he? I called him immediately, screaming, Did you know Sarah is pregnant? He denied it. What? No, God, it's impossible. We used protection, but I guess something went wrong. He cried, said it was a shock for him too, and that he doesn't want a child with her. It's a mistake, I love you, we'll handle it. But how can we handle it? A child is forever. Sarah called the next day. Cousin, I didn't plan it, but now it's a reality. I'm keeping the baby because it's a sign. Alex should be a part of this. I screamed. You stole my boyfriend and now you want a family with him? You're sick, she justified herself. He's unhappy with you because you're always at work. I gave him warmth. My aunt called. A child is a blessing, don't ruin this. Sarah needs support. My mom is in shock, said. Don't forgive him, it's the end. The family is even more divided. Some relatives say Alex should marry Sarah because of the child. Others are on my side. I blocked everyone who defends them. Financially, it's a nightmare. If the child is Alex's, then DNA tests, child support. I don't want to be involved. Alex asks to meet. Let's discuss it, I won't leave you. But I don't believe him, he lied about the affair, maybe about the protection too. Emotions, I feel betrayed twice, as if my dreams of a family have been stolen. I thought about having children with Alex, and now it's with Sarah. The therapist says, process the shock, then make a decision. Friends, kick him out, let him go to her. I'm in hell, I don't know whether to break up for good. Advice, how to survive this. Is this the end? Update 4. Hi, Reddit. Oh my god, people. I don't know how to describe what's happened in the last few days. It's like the finale of a terrible series where everything falls apart, but with some bitter relief. Thank you to everyone who wrote in the comments for Update 3. Your words about not holding onto toxic relationships, prioritizing myself, and how cheating with a child is a red flag the size of a house truly opened my eyes. I read everything, sitting in a cafe with coffee that had gone cold because I couldn't tear myself away from the screen. Right now, my emotions are a mix of relief, pain, and some new strength. I'm crying, but not as desperately, more like I'm cleansing myself. I feel exhausted, but for the first time in months, free. For those not in the loop, my boyfriend Alex cheated on me after his accident, broken legs, concussion, spine with my cousin Sarah, whom I hired as a caregiver. In Update 4, it turned out Sarah is pregnant by him. The term coincides with their mistakes. He denied knowing, but now the whole family is in chaos, and I was faced with a choice: forgive or leave. After that shocking call from my mom about Sarah's pregnancy, I didn't sleep for 2 nights. I sat on my friend's couch, staring at the ceiling, going over everything in my head. Our 3 years together, the accident that almost killed him, my support in the hospital where I held his hand, cried, and prayed. And then, the betrayal in our bedroom, and now a child. Alex called nonstop. Please, this doesn't change anything. I don't want to be with her. The child is an accident. We can raise it together or something. He even suggested, let's do a DNA test. If it's not mine, problem solved. But I thought, what if it is his? He'll pay child support, see Sarah, and I'll live with that reminder? Sarah texted, cousin, let's talk. The child is innocent. Alex should be a father. My aunt pressured me. Family is sacred, help Sarah, because she can't do it alone. My mom, thank God, stood firm. Honey, run, this isn't your life. You deserve happiness without this circus. I decided to meet Alex one last time, not at a cafe, but at home, because I wanted to get my things. My friend came with me for support, waited in the car. When I walked in, Alex was sitting on the couch, crutches nearby, looked haggard, unkempt hair, red eyes from crying. He tried to hug me, but I stepped back. Don't touch. We sat down, and I said everything that had built up. You cheated on me while I was at work, earning money for your treatment. Sarah is my cousin, family, and you turned her into your mistress. And now a child, you say mistake, but it wasn't one mistake, it was a choice 3 times, as you confessed. I can't live with this, I can't look at you without pain. He cried, said, I was weak, the medication, the pain, the loneliness. But I love you, we can start over, I'll renounce the child if I have to. Renounce? That killed me finally. What kind of person renounces their child? I said, no, Alex, this is the end. I'm dumping you. Pack your things, the apartment is in my name, you have to leave. He begged, where will I go? On crutches without a job yet. I replied, to Sarah, to your child, or to your parents, it's not my problem anymore. After that, I called a lawyer, my friend recommended it, and you in the comments did too. I met with him the next day. He said since we're not married, dividing property is simple, the apartment is mine, we'll split the joint account, the accident insurance is his. Alex has a right to his things, but I can evict him with 30 days' notice under Illinois law. I sent him an official letter through the lawyer. Move out by the end of the month. He replied with a message. You're cruel after everything. Cruel, I paid for everything while he was cheating. Sarah called when she found out. You're kicking him out? What about the child? He should be with us. I said. He's yours now, enjoy, but don't call me again or I'll sue for harassment. I blocked her, my aunt, everyone on their side. My mom helped, she came over, and we changed the locks in the apartment while Alex was at physiotherapy. We packed his things in boxes and left them in the garage. Financially, I'm in the red. I spent my savings on the caregiver, the lawyer, but I took on a freelance project at work to earn extra. My boss gave me a raise because he saw how hard I'm trying despite everything. Friends threw a breakup party, not with a guy, but with the past. We drank wine, watched comedies, laughed about how I dodged a bullet. My friend said, you're strong, now it's a new life. I started therapy twice a week. The therapist is helping me process the betrayal, says, you made the right choice, focus on yourself. I started running in the morning in the park, signed up for yoga to release stress. Yesterday, I deleted all photos with Alex from my phone. It hurt, but it was liberating. The family is still divided. My mom and some relatives support me. My aunt isn't speaking to me, but that's their problem. Sarah, I heard, moved in with my aunt, is preparing for the baby. Good luck to her, but without me. Now I'm thinking about the future. Maybe move to another city, New York or Los Angeles, for new opportunities. Look for a new boyfriend? No, it's too early, but I'm flirting on apps to boost my self-esteem. Reddit, you saved me your stories about similar situations, advice about no contact, about how life after betrayal gets better. I feel relief, as if I've dropped a heavy burden. If anyone is in a similar situation, run, don't hold on to what was. Thank you, everyone. This is the last update because I'm closing this chapter. Take care of yourselves. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new stories.